I'm here with world famous, he's out angling me already, world famous Kelly Starett.
This guy said to me earlier, he's like, wow, you actually are a much bigger person. The camera's supposed to add 10 pounds, I just want to say that.
Yeah, more hench in person. We're here at San Francisco CrossFit, and for those of you guys who don't know who Kelly is, I'm not going to go into a long rambling intro, but check him out at the Ready State on YouTube.
Amazing dancer.
Obviously.
Great personality.
Right? Excellent comedian.
Wow.
World's best beard.
That's right. This is new.
He's going to take us through just an overview of his top sleep tips. For the extended version, check it out on YouTube. But Kelly, just give us top 3 to 5 that people at home can start doing right now.
First of all, sleep more. Good job. So, second is that if anyone ever says that to you, kill them, right? Because they don't have children, they don't work strange hours, they haven't ever been on sleep deprived from a plane ride, there's not stress going on. So what we say is, hey, we'll worry about sleep quantity in a minute, but let's control your sleep. And that actually begins during the day. So what we want to do is, first of all, I love coffee. It's amazing. But
favorite spot in San Francisco?
Oh, there's a lot. You can't.
Top one.
Which one's my favorite daughter?
We like Pete's.
That's fine. It's fine.
Acre.
It's fine. There's plenty of good coffee.
Okay.
I'm not going to choose a favorite. But the idea here is that, I have 7 ways of making coffee at home. But besides that, we need to make sure that you are limiting your caffeine. If you're sensitive to caffeine, by noon. The half-life of caffeine is really long, and you may fall asleep, but the density of your sleep, the quality of your sleep is not very good. So I'm a fast caffeine metabolist. I know that through genetics and through experience. So 4 o'clock though is my cutoff. I will not drink caffeine after 4. And one of the things that I'm trying to do is prepare myself to be able to sleep better. And so second thing, alcohol is a big difference. So a lot of us come into the evening, we're a little bit tired, we have a coffee or a cappuccino at 3 or 4, maybe 5 to kind of make it through, and then I've got to hit the brakes and go to bed. And what we're doing is we're seeing a lot of people using alcohol to come down. And that's a reasonable tool and an appropriate idea, but what we don't appreciate is how that alcohol really messes with our sleep. So now I've got caffeine on board, I put this alcohol in, which is really sleep disruptive, and then I don't get very dense sleep. And my sleep isn't very good, even if I'm in bed for long. So what ends up happening, I wake up in the morning and I start this whole cycle again, where I'm leaning on caffeine and 5-hour energy drinks, right? And so we sometimes don't appreciate sort of how coupled our behaviors are. So limit your caffeine, and then just for a week, do this. Only drink when you're rested and stoked. If you're stressed, don't add another stressor on. So that's how we talk about alcohol. And then, one of the things that makes a big difference when we're trying to tug out sleep problems for people, and especially on high performance environments, the first thing we do is say, hey, let's walk a little bit more during the day. So you have an iPhone, you have some kind of Android phone, it tracks your steps. So you'll use a special track stepper, right? Step tracker. And what you need to do is just try to get 12,000 steps a day. So if you can hit that 12,000 steps, you'll accumulate enough non-exercise activity to actually feel fatigued. So a lot of times we're going to the gym smashing ourselves, but we're not doing enough non-exercise activity. So we're not actually accumulating enough load that we're actually fatigued. So let's limit our caffeine, drink when you're less stressed. Can you accumulate a little bit of non-exercise activity? And here's a big deal. Get into bed earlier. And I mean 30 minutes. Because if I'm like, what if you could sleep an extra night every 2 weeks? Would you do it if I could give you that magic power? If you get into bed 30 minutes earlier, not just 30 minutes, you don't have to go to sleep, just get into bed. Chances are, if you're in bed, you'll sleep earlier. If we can get you 30 minutes of extra sleep a night, that's reasonable. In 2 weeks, you've slept an entire night. So if we can untangle that a little bit, what we start to see is that aggregates into massive change in a week, in a month, in a year. And in a year, you've done what? How many extra nights of sleep is that? It's crazy. It's almost a month of sleep.